Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only one Diglett was fast, but with a brutal Lorelei fight near the end. Let's follow that up with the second half of this experiment. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Fire Red with a team of only one Diglett? A couple of weeks ago, we did the same run but in Red. Although this is the same Pokemon in the same region, Fire Red is in Gen 3 and works pretty differently. For instance, on our stats page here, in Gen 1 we would have used the special stat of 45, but in Gen 3 we have special attack and special defense instead, leading to us having less special attack than we would in Gen 1. That difference is minor, but the movesets are much more different. By level up we learn a few new moves, although Dig is 60 power rather than 100 power in this game. By TM we actually don't learn much that's great. Aerial Ace could be cool for fighting grass types, but for the most part, I'm just interested in Return here. Even then, I'm not sure we'll use it much this run. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I still think that I'm gonna win again, but that I might need to be max level. Without a higher crit rate and Gen 1 Dig, I think this might take a while. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Diglett. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Charmander with Diglett so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Charmander so that our rival would have Blastoise, probably the hardest for us to fight. Plus, it's the one that we fought in Gen 1, so I want to see how different it is. I name him Diglett, same as last time. Our nature is brave, so more attack and less speed. I'll need any attack that I can get. Losing speed kinda sucks because we're so fragile that we likely can't survive any late game fights without the speed advantage, but it's still our best stat, so I'm not too worried. Also, we don't learn Sandstorm, so Sand Veil probably won't come into play. First is Viridian Forest, but we actually don't need to grind here for once. We learned Magnitude at level 9, and that'll be our first proper ground move. It's unreliable since it has random power, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't enough to get us past Brock at a reasonable level. Speaking of, Brock time! This was a first try victory, but it easily could have gone the other way. Magnitude can be strong sometimes, but it's unreliable. I'm just hoping that this will carry us through the roughest fights of the game until we have Earthquake. Earthquake is almost always going to be stronger. Normally after that, I have to fight all the trainers for levels. We have that water gym coming up soon, and we're not as over-leveled as we usually are. I do bother using the Rock Tomb TM from Brock, by the way. It's not a very good move, but our rival likes to open with Pidgeotto, and ground moves can't hit it, so this should save us some time. Oh, and on my way through, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone asks anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. On the other side, I go straight after our rival. After failing a few tries thanks to Sand Attack right away, we actually had a no damage run where Squirrel decided to buff his defense instead of taking us out. So we won. That seemed a lot more like a Gen 1 decision. With that done, I clear out the trainers in the north for some more levels. I'm kind of worried that we're still not ready to take down the water gym, but there's a lot of trainers that we can reach now that our rival's been taken down, so I'd be surprised if we ran out of trainers before we could win this gym. Water gym time. Now this one actually took quite a few tries because we both had to level up enough to not get one shot by Water Pulse, and we needed to have enough Magnitude luck to actually deal the damage that we needed. After 6 tries, we won. With that done, we move straight onto the SSN where we fight our rival again. He was a complete pushover, like usual. He just isn't that bad on the SSN or the Pokemon Tower. Naturally, the Electric Gym was a real quick battle. This gym isn't required yet, but it's an easy fight and it's in the town that we were in, so we take care of it real quick before we leave. Now, Fire Red's Rock Tunnel can be a real pain in these runs. It has more mandatory hiker battles than Gen 1 did. Thankfully, we have ground moves, so it's not that bad in this run. This Cave and Fire Red runs always makes me remember my old Magikarp run from a couple of years ago. Rock Tunnel was horrible in that run. Right, we're on the other side. I'll make sure to pick up Return, then go straight to the Rocket Hideout. I know we're not ready for the Grass Gym yet, but that's okay, we don't have to do that yet. Now, you don't hear this often, but Giovanni was actually an issue. See, we've gotten to the point in the run where we don't have any single move that's super strong, and we're crazy fragile. Anyone surviving a hit can just one-shot us in return if they have the right move. I ended up having to come back a level higher just so that we had Earthquake, so we could deal consistent enough damage to get the win. With that done, I go straight after the rival in the Pokemon Tower. No damage sweep, so that's always nice. I'll probably want to go back to Rock Tunnel and get Rock Slide before the next rival fight, though. With this area cleared out, I go after the Grass Gym before heading south. This actually took 15 tries because we got paralyzed by Vileplume that many times in a row by Stun Spore, just for her to randomly get one shot without a crit on this attempt. So I guess she was both in a damage range and kept hitting Stun Spore. The RNG gods are messing with me today. Okay, with all of that handled, let's check out the stats and make some plans. Speed is solid, attack is, well, nice. I doubt it's nice enough to beat the next gym, though. I know that Koga's Poison Gym uses some Pokemon with Levitate, so our ground moves won't hit some of them. That means the Poison Gym is not going to be the slam dunk that it was on the previous run. Let's give it a try. So after losing the first 4 tries to getting hit by Toxic right away, we ended up losing a bunch of runs from just taking too much damage off Sludge. We resist it, but it still poisons us, and we have so little defense and health that we can't really handle it. I don't think that learning Return will be strong enough on its own to win us the fight, so maybe let's go with Silphco. Before that, though, I take out the fighting gym? Dojo? You know, the Hitmonlee Hitmonchan place in Saffron. Sometimes I clear this place out since it has a few trainers that give decent experience, but I rarely bring it up since it's not really that important. Wait, why am I talking about this right now? Next is Silphco, and I made sure to clear out lots of the trainers here. The rival fight here is always brutal, and if we can't beat the Poison Gym yet, then I really don't like my chances against him. Oh, and after that, I made sure to go back to Rock Tunnel so that I could learn Rock Slide from the Move Tutor. It's only got 75 power and 90 accuracy, but it's the best thing we have to take out Pidgeot, and I think we'll need it. Plus, it occasionally causes flinching when it hits. Every few levels, I made sure to revisit the Poison Gym. We still just go down instantly sometimes, but on this attempt, we actually got pretty far in. We got whittled down thanks to Toxic, but it wasn't too bad outside of wheezing. Even with Return, he didn't take much damage. Why don't we just try the rival fight and see how that goes? Rival time, and this one was insane. First, we hit Pidgeot with Rock Slide. He hung on, but he flinched, totally saving us because we lost many attempts to Feather Dance. Second is Blastoise. He spends the first turn using Protect, we hit Earthquake on the second turn to take him to yellow, and he hits Water Gun for 2/3 of our health. The second Earthquake finishes him, but we're hurt. Execute hung on from Return, and I was filled with dread as he used Stun Spore, but he missed, so we took him down. Alakazam was a one-shot with Earthquake, and last was Growlithe, who was another one-shot. Man, I'm just happy that he sends out his Growlithe last. It's got Intimidate. If we were to send it out sooner, he'd probably be able to beat me. With that done, we have another Giovanni fight. This one was a total breeze with Earthquake though, so we had a pretty easy time. Let's go do the Psychic Gym. I'm still not feeling great about the Poison one. Now believe it or not, the Psychic Gym was actually easier in Fire Red than it was in our Red run. In that one, we still could have lost if we got critically hit by Psybeam, but in this one, we had to level up so much more after getting stuck at the Poison Gym, we were fast enough to just sweep our whole team. Weird to think that we actually did Silphco before the Poison Gym in a ground run. Speaking of Poison Gym again, this time we do much better, mostly just because we never ended up getting poisoned. We still got hit a few times and in fact took a great deal of damage, but because we never got poisoned, we never got finished off. After that, I surf right to the Fire Gym. Blaine isn't a total pushover like he is in Gen 1, in fact he's got 2 Pokemon with Intimidate, so he's kind of dangerous. I kind of get the feeling that Arcanine is just going to outspeed us and take us down. At the Fire Gym, I'm actually pretty worried since the fight starts with us at lowered attack from Growlithe's Intimidate, but we're able to one-shot our way all the way to Arcanine, who totally missed his Fire Blast. I'd say it's embarrassing, but in his defense, Diglett is a pretty small target. Finally, last for the gyms is another Giovanni battle, but we beat the ground gym leader at his own game by just sweeping his team with Earthquake. With that done, we have one last rival fight before the Elite Four. It really doesn't start well, though. Pidgeot always hits us with either Wing Attack or Feather Dance, and either one of those will make us lose to the Blastoise right after. We're close to a one-shot on Pidgeot, though, so let's just get a few levels. This ended up being a lot harder than I expected, though. Even after 5 levels, we don't seem to be much closer to winning the fight. We hardly did more damage, we only gain about 1 point of attack per level after all. Let's try until we get Flinch, then see if Blastoise goes down. It didn't take too many more tries before we got a Flinch run, but we're still short on damage against Blastoise. If we did just slightly more, then we could take him down. Another few levels later, and we had this terrifying fight with Blastoise where we crit Earthquake for him to survive with a Sliver. He hit us with Water Gun, and we survived with only 1 health, letting us finish him off. Unfortunately, after that we were paralyzed by Stun Spore, so we ended up losing the fight along with our speed advantage. I bet if I had 1 more point of attack, that Blastoise would have been a one-shot. Finally, a few levels later, and we were able to one-shot Pidgeot. We get crit by Blastoise, but still hang on. And most importantly, we don't get paralyzed by Stun Spore. Thanks to that, we finally win this awful, awful fight. Alright, let's check out our stats before the Elite Four. This should be enough speed to be faster than our rivals Alakazam, but the attack is a little bit low for Blastoise. I'm kinda iffy on it. Moves-wise, I replaced Slash with Aerial Ace, mostly just for our rival's Executor. I hope that Earthquake and Rock Slide can carry us through Lorelei, but it won't surprise me if I need another few levels or some great flinch luck. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is the dreaded Ice Trainer Lorelei. This goes about how you'd expect, and in fact very much like it did in Red. We take tons of damage and we can't one-shot them. The second Pokemon is a mega tanky Cloyster, and we just go down to Dive. Kinda wish I had Protect or Dig to avoid that, but I really do think we'll need Aerial Ace. So there's been a lot of grinding in the last chunk of the game. Back in the day, I used to sometimes use these moments to let you know about fun upcoming stuff on the channel, but I kinda ran out of stuff to talk about because I was so insanely busy with my daily upload schedule. If you don't know, I did daily uploads, a video a day minimum, for 10 years. I just finished that in March. Well, now that I've had a break from daily uploads for a few months, and I have a little bit more time, not a ton, I have time to plan out more interesting challenges. I don't want to promise anything too big just yet, but you can expect to see more Pokemon with fun gimmicks like Smeargle and Ditto, as well as more runs that aren't specifically just solo Pokemon runs, such as runs where I can only use HM Pokemon, or like my trades-only runs that I used to do. Now that I don't have to worry about daily content, I have enough time that with the help of a friend, I can plan out more of this stuff and get you more consistently interesting runs. So yeah, look forward to that! I also, for the record, have a little bit more time to spend on myself. The last 15 days I've gotten my 10k steps in, and you know what, I've never done that in my life before, so I'm quite proud of myself for that. Just thought I'd share that with you. Well, let's go be proud of something else. Back at level 85, and things get weird. First, we crit Dugong for a one-shot, then Cloyster used spikes instead of, well, hitting me. Slowbro could have dealt great damage, but he used Amnesia to protect himself from the 0 special moves I have. Jinx was a one-shot with Earthquake, and Lapras ended up flinching, so she never took a swing. We just beat Lorelei without getting hit, and I think it's because Lorelei didn't want to hit me. Hey, look! I actually won at the same levels in Red. I thought I said I could be proud of this. She kind of threw that fight. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. This one wasn't bad at all, though. Earthquake made pretty short work of his whole team. Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha. Now, we can't hit Earthquake on Gengar because of Levitate, and we can't hit Return because it's normal, so we throw rocks at it. Rocks hit ghosts, didn't you know? He tried to stop us with Double Team, but Aerial Ace doesn't miss, so it's a perfect follow-up. Golbat was almost a one-shot before hitting us with Air Cutter and using a full restore. We quickly finished it with another Rock Slide, though. Haunter ended up never getting a move off because of Flinch, and next is a second Gengar. This was a stressful one, because although her first Hypnosis missed, her second one didn't, giving her the chance to heal back up. Right after that, though, we woke up, made her flinch with Rock Slide, then hit a second one to finish her. Last was Arbok, and we lose attack to Intimidate, but Earthquake was too strong and overpowered her. That was a tense fight. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Lance. This one is scary because right off the bat, our attack is down from Intimidate the whole fight. He just bit us though, so he didn't do much damage. Aerodactyl could have gone worse, but luckily, he flinched so he couldn't hurt us. Dragonite took decent damage off Rock Slide, but we have almost no defense, so his Hyper Beam destroyed us. Well, I needed flinches just to get that far in the fight, so I'm not gonna just hope for extra flinches. Let's just run through the Elite Four a couple more times for levels. A few levels later, and we're still having no real luck. We're level 90, and we still deal less than half of Dragonite's health and damage with Rock Slide, meaning that we're pretty much just hoping for either a crit or fantastic flinch luck. Considering Rock Slide doesn't even have 100 accuracy, we fail this fight a lot. Well, I have been collecting rare candies. Let's bump up to level 95 and see if that does the trick. So, this attempt. You know how I said that I didn't want to hope for flinches and crits? Water Onyx flinched, Aerodactyl flinched, and Dragonite took a crit. This was literally the next attempt. I was surprised that Dragonair was able to survive Earthquake, although the second one was a one-shot thanks to yet another crit. I feel lucky, but this is Pokemon. If you try enough times, eventually you'll get some real weird fights. Finally, the Pokemon champion. After losing a few attempts to Feather Dance right away, we managed to beat Pidgeot without taking a ton of damage. Unfortunately, it still wasn't enough to hang on from Blastoise's Hydro Pump. Okay, if we're trying this until Hydro Pump misses, then we're gonna have to use the last few rare candies to top off my level so that we can at least one-shot Pidgeot. That alone could legit save me tons of time on attempts. When I say I have to grind out attempts, by the way, I really mean it. We still get one shot from Hydro Pump even if Pidgeot doesn't hit us. But at least at level 100, we sometimes one-shot it, keeping it from ruining our attempts early with Feather Dance. 47 brutally slow attempts later, and Hydro Pump finally missed, letting us take him down, just for Exeggutor to instantly hit Sleep Powder right after, causing us to easily go down to Giga Drain. This is so much harder than in Gen 1. Another 5 tries later and we get back to Exeggutor, but this time he hits Giga Drain. Knowing I need to either crit or flinch to survive, I went for Rock Slide and actually got the flinch, letting us take him down. Rhydon and Alakazam were both one-shots, so last is Arcanine. I felt good about Earthquake being able to one-shot him, but he uses Extreme Speed to take us down. That means I have to try this until I get to Exeggutor again. He needs to pick Sleep Powder instead of Giga Drain and miss it, and that's the only way we can get this far in without damage. This is brutal. Okay, after many attempts, we finally crit Blastoise to bypass needing Hydro Pump to miss, Sleep Powder missed, and we had an easy time Earthquaking our way through the rest of the fight. Man, this was way more brutal than I was expecting. I gotta say, this was kind of a fun experiment. The run was a lot harder at many points in Fire Red, but the grinding wasn't as bad in individual sessions. There sure were a lot more points to grind though. I really hope you guys like this run. For next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge, we're going to be doing a very long requested one that sounds like a lot of fun. Can I beat Pokemon Gold with a team of Smeargle? Yes, as in multiple. We're gonna have all kinds of fun with our movesets in that one. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend What a Geek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, What a Geek, and Goosip playing Pokemon here on my channel. We've done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, of which I've just started back up. Also, come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.